I am Jack and this is Brian. We are M3 Movies on YouTube. We talk about movies and films and stuff.
Hello!
Hello.
Welcome to M3 Movies Podcast.
Hey there.
I'm Jack.
I'm Brian.
And this is
episode 3.
Yeah, it's episode 3. We made it. We did it. The big 003. EP.
It's not a very big number, actually.
It's very big.
It's not a very big number.
It's bigger than the number I can count to.
That was a good one, Jack.
Yeah, thanks.
Very
I'm out of my
clever.
A game today.
All right.
Okay, yeah, this is M3 Movies. We're going to be talking about movies and films and stuff. Spoilers for a lot of things.
Especially this episode,
particularly
Infinity War.
We're finally getting to it.
We've been promising to get to it.
But we're finally actually going to do it.
Yeah, we're going to have a good time.
Because I watched it last night, so...
Yeah, Jack's finally seen it.
Finally.
Touche.
So just to get started here, we're going to do birthdays as of today, which is May 16th, 2018.
Jingle.
It's your birthday!
Today we have Megan Fox, Thomas Brody Sangster, Lynn Collins, Melanie Linsky, Tia Sircar. I have no clue how to pronounce most of these. Miles Heiser, Pierce Brosnan.
My boy.
Who's that? Joseph Morgan, Deborah Winger, Danny Trejo, David Boreanaz.
David Boreanaz.
David
You know,
Boreanaz.
he's the on
sorry.
Bones.
What?
He's the guy on Bones.
Yes, I've seen Bones.
And Castle?
Yes, also that too I've seen.
Okay.
Jim Sturgis.
Sturgis.
Shut
I
up.
don't know who he is.
Francis
but I'm
Sholto Douglas, Stephen Mangan, Henry Fonda.
Wait, Henry Fonda's on this one.
Henry Fonda's on the list.
Ooh.
Yannick Bisson, Yvonne.
I can't help you, friend.
Yvonne Craig, Tracy Gold, Carrie Payton, Vincent Reagan, Mare Winningham, Tori Spelling, Barbara Nedolyakova, Atticus Mitchell, Janet Jackson, Harry Carey.
It's not the Janet Jackson I'm thinking of, is it?
It is, not
Oh,
absolutely.
it is?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Jocelyn Lane, Bahati Prinsloo, Kevin McDonald, Rebecca Front, Julia Voth. This is too long. Stanislav Yanovsky, Mark John Jeffries, Jessica Morris, Raymond Tickeram, Drew Roy, Brian F. O'Byrne, Brandy Passante, Vincent LaRusso, Bill Strimovich, Jesper Christensen, Danielle Spencer, Laurette Spang, Jing Lucy, Bell Schaus, Andrew Keenan Bolger. I know him. He's a Broadway guy.
He actually knows it, but he's like bottom of the list. I'm so proud of you.
Adam Richmond, Akemi Look, Adam McDonald, and Jacob Zacher.
Dude, nice.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday.
Thanks for listening to the podcast, all the people I just listed.
Dude, Melanie Linsky. You know who Melanie Linsky is?
No, I don't.
Great actress.
That explains a lot.
Great actress. No, she's the only one on here that I really like. Oh, Thomas Brody Sangster's good too.
Yeah. Love Actually. Thomas Brody Sangster.
Is he in Love Actually?
Yeah. He was. I think he was. I saw something recently that it may be entirely wrong, but I think he's like 3 years younger than what's her face? I should know it. What's her face?
You know Thomas Brody Sangster's in one shot of The Force Awakens?
I think I did know that. Yes.
Yeah.
Which shot
he
was
like,
that?
It's when Finn and Oscar Isaac Poe are stealing the TIE fighter, and like they cut to Hux, and like there's a guy sitting at the desk that's like, General Hux, they're taking the TIE fighter, and it's Thomas Brody Sangster.
Oh,
yeah,
neat.
Fun facts of the day.
All right, you want to move on to new releases?
I would love to.
Wait, jingle.
New releases. They're out today, or tomorrow, or next week, or maybe they're already out. Who's to say?
Okay, there it was. That was a cool jingle.
That was a cool jingle.
New releases. We got Deadpool 2. You seen it?
No,
Have you seen
it's
it?
Wednesday.
Oh, right, it's not out yet. That's the second time today I've forgotten that, too.
I feel like Deadpool 2 is, like, getting lost in between... Because Infinity War was last week, and then Solo's the week after.
Yeah.
And those are, like, the only two movies that I've heard people talking about. I feel like people will be like, oh, Deadpool 2's out. Cool.
No, I've heard a lot of people talking about Deadpool 2.
Almost,
I dare to say almost more than I've heard about Solo.
Well, I think I've heard... I think it's because I've heard a lot of stuff about Solo that's not so positive.
Oh, right.
In terms of anticipation, the reviews are positive, but like in terms of like anticipation,
mm-hmm.
so like I've heard a lot about that, but I feel like Deadpool 2 like more or less is going to be Deadpool 1.
Yeah. Well, I've heard that it's I've actually heard that it's kind of smaller scale than Deadpool.
Smaller scale,
which people like. It focuses more on character apparently.
Yeah.
Which I find interesting because I mean it's got a bigger budget, it's got a bigger following, so it's interesting that they're kind of taking the smaller approach.
Thanos' movie. All right, Fahrenheit 451.
Have you seen that?
It comes out on Sunday. No,
is that a theater
really
one?
excited for that.
Is that one in theaters? I feel like I saw
no,
it.
It's HBO.
No, yeah.
It's HBO. I am really excited for this movie.
Yeah.
Because, well, yes, Michael B. Jordan. I'm a huge fan of that book. I really love that book.
I haven't read it.
We had to read classics in 8th grade, and I picked that one for some reason. I think it was because John Green liked it. And I was like, John Green likes it.
You're a big John Green guy.
I'm a big John Green guy. But, so I read it. I'm a big fan of that book, and this is like a modern twist on it. So it's not like just a super faithful adaptation, which I like. Mm-hmm. And Michael Shannon as the antagonist, Captain Beatty, is so genius. That is...
Well, it's Michael Shannon.
So genius.
Michael Shannon as any antagonist ever is a good idea.
That's fair. But I feel like it's a famous director. It's Escape. It's the guy that did 99 Homes with Michael Shannon and Andrew Garfield 2 years ago. I don't know his name.
What is it called?
It's called 99 Homes.
Yeah, I haven't heard of it.
I don't know what it's about, but it got really good reviews, and Michael Shannon was like talked about for an Oscar.
Oh wow!
So I was like, okay, directing Michael Shannon again. Michael B. Jordan in Fahrenheit 451.
Yeah,
I am so down.
Does it have a review? Like, are there reviews?
Reviews are mixed.
Yeah.
Which doesn't exactly surprise me. It's an HBO movie. I mean.
Oh yeah. Let's see.
But
let me try.
I feel like it's gonna be artsy enough that I'll appreciate it.
Yeah. Wait. I'm pulling it up now. Film record. What is it? Where is it?
We should have a jingle. We should have a jingle here, like while you're looking up something.
Like a Jeopardy jingle.
Yeah, exactly. Perfect.
I'll work on it.
All right.
Show Dogs. I haven't heard of
Show Dogs.
I mean, I would assume.
Here, look at the poster. I'm showing him the poster now.
Oh no.
Oh no. You see who that is right there?
Is that...
That's Mr. Will Arnett, ladies and gentlemen.
Poor guy.
Look at the dogs wearing glasses.
Jesus.
It's clever.
I thought those kind of movies were done.
Apparently this is still 2006. So they are not done.
If you are confused as to what we're talking about, because I absolutely was.
Here, I'll read the...
Go ahead. I'll look up Show Dogs poster. It is something else.
After a failed attempt to recover a stolen baby panda, police dog Max, his name... Why is every dog in a movie named Max? Literally every dog in every movie is named Max. I think it's just because of the Grinch, but I could be wrong. All right. Reluctantly teams up with human FBI agent named Frank. A hot tip leads Max and Frank to Las Vegas for the world's most exclusive dog show. To find the panda, Max goes undercover as a contestant to get the lowdown from his fellow canines. With the help from their new friends, the crime-fighting duo must now foil another kidnapping plot and rescue other valuable animals from a gang of greedy smugglers. So it's a buddy cop movie, but it's a dog.
A buddy cop, one might say, because Buddy is a name that is
often used as an Air Buds.
Air Buds, there you go.
You know who plays Max?
It's an Air Bud
I will give you
movie.
An infinite amount of guesses to guess who plays Max, and
Michael
you will
Shannon.
Never get it. No.
Christopher Walken.
No. You're never going to get it.
Well, those were my two guesses.
It's not an actor.
It's not an actor?
It's ludicrous.
Oh my god! Are you kidding me?
It's literally a buddy cop movie with Will Arnett and a dog who's voiced by Ludacris.
Oh my god.
That's enough for me. I'd see it.
Oh, no.
Are you telling me you wouldn't see that?
I mean, I would, but...
I'd see it.
I mean, all I can think of right now is, what is it? Beverly Hills Chihuahuas? Do you remember that? And how they made too many of those?
Who's the guy in that movie? It's, wait. It's, It's George Lopez, is it not?
Who?
As, like, the main Chihuahua.
No. That's Drew Barrymore.
I thought it was a guy.
No. No, it's not, Brian.
Jeez. Sexist up in here.
Yeah, no, see? That is a female dog.
No, not that one.
What?
That's not the main Chihuahua in Beverly Hills Chihuahua.
It's one of them, Brian.
He's looking at the white Chihuahua. It is not the white Chihuahua. It is the brown Chihuahua.
Okay, let's pull it up.
This is important.
Beverly Hills Chihuahua, 10 years ago.
Yeah, it's 10 years old.
Wow. Oh, wow. It has 3.8 stars on IMDb.
Oh, what a god. You know Solo already had...
yeah, it was George Lopez.
Yes! Get wrecked. So wait, does that mean that there's a movie where George Lopez and Drew Barrymore are love interests?
And dogs.
Yeah, but they ignore that. Whatever, okay. Moving on.
Moving on.
There's a Pope Francis documentary.
Oh, there is.
There's also a Ruth Bader Ginsburg documentary.
Oh, there is.
Didn't we talk about RBG last week? I thought we talked about RBG last week.
Did we?
Did we?
Did we? I think maybe. I mean, I know that you don't really care about it.
We didn't talk about it.
No, okay.
I'm just not interested enough in either of these people to like. For me, to get out and go see a doc, I have to be like invested.
I'm RBG. I love because she's
a queen.
Icon. Yeah, no,
I love
awesome.
Pope Francis too. Like he's such a cool guy.
I don't. He's a jerk. But yeah, I mean, I'd watch it. I'd watch RBG.
I would. I'm not rushing out to the theater for that.
No, you're Americaning out to the theater.
Americaning?
Yeah. You said you're not rushing out.
Ha.
High five.
Good high five.
Blammo.
Okay.
All right. Okay.
All right. This is gonna be the bulk.
Is everyone ready? Settle in. Get comfortable.
Infinity
War.
Oh. Jack, do you want to start, or do you want me to start? I've sat on it for a while.
Let me explain what I think of it in 2 words, Brian. Count them. 2 words.
I know
Not
what they are
one,
too.
But 2.
I know what they are. Can I guess?
What?
Hot trash.
Close.
Damn.
Hot garbage.
All right, that's close.
Garbage is more gross than trash, I find. So
that's literally what I texted our friend Dylan, who will hopefully be on to defend this movie at some point. I literally got out of Infinity War and I texted Dylan, that was hot garbage. Yeah. My exact wording.
Okay, I have to be honest. Clearly, I was going into it with a little bit of a bias, but
same. Yeah.
I knew all of the stupid stuff that was going to happen.
Yes.
This is where spoilers are going to happen.
Yeah,
so,
big spoilers for this movie.
Big old spoilers.
Although if you haven't seen it, you know what happens.
Yeah. Come on. I knew everyone who died.
Yep.
I knew how they died. I knew like everything that was stupid going into it, and then there was more stupid. Jesus.
Yeah, literally the Thursday afternoon it came out, like before anybody in the States had seen it, I like watched an Australian video explaining the whole thing. I was trying to find something to get excited about, and then I heard about it and I was like, that's exciting. And I got excited about it. It worked. I don't care.
It was so boring and cheesy, and like it was, to me, it was everything that made a Marvel movie bad. Yeah.
Except for the whole, like, thinking characters are dead. Because they're not back yet.
Technically. But they're not dead. I think the characters
I
think the characters that people, like, actually got, like, hands-on and killed, like, Loki, Thor,
Loki's dead.
Gamora.
Who? Who's the third one you said?
Gamora.
Who's the second one you said?
Who did I say?
I thought you said Thor. Thor's not dead.
Oh, I probably did say Thor.
Thor's not dead. Thor's not dead.
Okay.
Thor's fine.
Why did I say Thor?
I don't know. Loki, Gamora.
That's it. No, there's Heimdall. definitely.
Vision, I think, is gone.
I'm not sure.
No, because... Yeah, no, but he's gone.
Okay.
I think... Because, like, he gets pretty destroyed.
Yeah.
Like, he...
Although, what a weird way to kill him off.
Although...
Can we talk about how they stabbed him twice, and then Scarlet Witch killed him, and then they brought him back, and then killed him again?
Yeah.
That's stupid.
I mean, yeah.
I mean, like...
I agree with most of... I think you hate it a little more than I do. I'm not a fan of it.
Yeah. Well, you also thought the CG was alright, so there's an added...
I saw it in IMAX, which was gorgeous.
I thought the CG was awful. It was so crazy obvious when it was, like, constantly CG.
It is obvious.
I mean, like, of course, the CG isn't going to be perfect, but, I mean, if you're trying to make it grounded and less cartoony...
I thought Titan was the one.
Yeah.
Like, I thought the Earth stuff looked fine. The Wakanda stuff looked fine.
Wakanda was fine.
Like the Demodogs that they fight. The Demodogs that are basically from Stranger Things. Those things looked fine. I mean, they looked like Ultron's minions too, the same. Yeah. But the scene actually where Vision does die the first time, I think is really well done. I think I think Elizabeth Olsen is trying her ass off,
except for keeping an accent.
No, but in that scene in particular,
no.
Is
Do
what
you
I'm
remember?
saying.
I just want to bring this up. Do you remember when Scarlet Witch had an accent?
Was Russian?
Well, had a Russian accent.
Yeah,
that just was gone.
That's because Elizabeth Olsen is the one that cares the least about these movies. Like they were like, "Hey, Elizabeth Olsen, do you want to do a Scarlet Witch movie?" And she was like, "No, not really."
Oh Jesus!
But I thought it was like a really well done scene. Like she's acting really well there.
It was okay. It was probably one of the better of the movie, but it wasn't.
So here was my things about Infinity War. Again, I also kind of had that bias going in. I was kind of like, this isn't something I think I'm going to enjoy. Yeah. Right? That's never a good attitude to have going into a movie. It's something I want to change, but it's how it is. But I told all my friends who love Marvel, I was like, if I legitimately believe this movie is good, I will admit it. Yeah. And for the first about 45 minutes to hour of the movie, I thought I was going to have to admit it. Mm-hmm. Because I thought the first scene, I thought pretty much everything that happens in New York, I thought all of that was really good.
It was alright.
I thought that... Okay, well, the action was like stereotypical Marvel action. Yeah. It wasn't anything like brilliant, but I was like, this is well put together, and it is a good introduction. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. I thought it was a good first act. Yeah. I was like, this is building a movie that can be great. Yeah. And then it just fizzled out. Yeah. Like, it didn't capitalize on what it started. Mm-hmm. Like, at least to me.
I just, through and through the entire time, didn't enjoy it. I was, like, I honest to God, was just so bored. Like, because it felt so repetitive. It was action, and then dramatic, quote-unquote dramatic sequence.
Quote-unquote.
Action, dramatic, action, dramatic. And it was just... Yeah. And, like, every time that there was some... Like, the Thor and Rocket Raccoon scene after, I don't know, something happened, and then it was them in the pod, and then Rocket had to have the one-on-one with Thor, I, like, sighed.
I think that, like, how random their pairing is, I think that, like, they have good chemistry. Those were some of the scenes I enjoyed the most, actually, where Rocket and Thor, I thought they were just funny together. Yeah. Scenes that bothered me, I just, like, wasn't invested in any of the, like, Stark stuff. Mm-hmm. Any of the Stark, Doctor Strange, Spider-Man stuff, like, all of that stuff, I was just like, stop. Yeah. Except for the Doctor Strange fight.
I actually kind of thought that was one of the more interesting storylines.
I thought it was in the beginning, when there was the whole Stark-Peter stuff. Right, yeah. And then they just kind of stopped that. Yeah, they just kind of forgot about that.
Well, it kind of fizzled out immediately. He was just like, yeah, okay, you're an Avenger now, and then it solved everything.
And the thing is, like, the defense I hear for that kind of stuff a lot from people is like, there's 20 characters, they couldn't have done it better. Yeah. And I was like, okay,
don't cram 20 characters into one movie.
Exactly. Like, it's in the comics. That doesn't matter.
They're comics, not movies.
Exactly.
That's always just a little side note. That's something that I always hear too when I'm like arguing against Marvel and how it's kind of repetitive and just the same movie and over again. Yeah. people say like, oh, well, that's how
it is
like
in the comics.
But
it doesn't matter.
Yeah, the comics are released weekly. The movies are movies. They don't have to be released 3 times a year.
I am a strong believer that a movie's source material does not matter at all. Like when people remember when we were young and younglings, like 12 years old, and Percy Jackson the movie came out, right?
Yeah, that was just
that
was
thing's a
bad
mess.
without the source.
That thing's a mess, right? The thing is a mess, and it has nothing to do with the source material, right? But
it's not a mess because it has nothing to do with
exactly.
the source
Like if the movie was good, and it just had a different plot line, that doesn't matter.
Yeah.
The movie's not bad because it deviates from the source material. The movie's bad for lots of other reasons.
Yeah.
Or like people are like, Daniel Radcliffe has blue eyes, not green eyes. That doesn't matter. It doesn't. Like Annabelle had blonde hair.
Oh god.
So like when people bring like the comics into arguments on Marvel movies, it just like turns me off because I'm like it doesn't matter.
Yeah, it.
Can we talk about Thanos?
Because
this is the part where we disagree with the majority.
Yeah,
because I think
we disagree with the majority on a good deal of things, but like
but
even the majority who agree with us, we disagree.
I think the majority of people, like critics who saw this movie and people who saw this movie, were like, it's kind of a mess. It's somewhat entertaining for the most part, but Thanos is great.
Yes.
Whereas I am like, and I think you are like too.
I am also like.
It's definitely a mess.
Yeah.
Thanos it's somewhat entertaining, and Thanos is he's fine. I think he's like fine. I don't think he's bad.
The way I see it is, it's kind of like Marvel tricking the audience into thinking they've written a good villain, because for so many years we've relied on the baseline villain. I don't know how to put this. Like the quota, the quota for a good villain isn't actually a good villain.
It's just like somebody who is meh.
Yeah, it's someone who's fighting the good guys, and that's what a villain is.
Yeah.
So all of a sudden they introduce a new quality where the bad guy is fighting the good guys, but he thinks what he's doing is right. Yeah. And people think that makes a good villain, which is just not true.
No, it's not.
Because he still does all this stupid Marvel like, I'm a bad guy and I speak in a deep voice and I kill people. It's just. But he cries, and that makes him like relatable. I don't know.
Yeah, like it's funny to me that like the one emotional scene he has is like
the cheesiest and stupidest.
It's not. I don't like that scene. I don't like that scene.
Yeah, can we talk about that scene, the killing Gamora scene? Because that's my least bad. I want to specifically talk about.
Yeah, go for it. Go for it.
First of all, starting with the like Sauron ass from The Hobbit character in the very beginning that's like, oh, you've come to find
Red Skull.
Yeah.
Why is he back?
They made him Red Skull, and I hate that. People like that it's Red Skull. I hate it because now they can't even keep their villains dead. That was the one thing. Those were the only people I could count on being dead in Marvel movies were the villains, and now they're back.
To me, I'm just like, why did it? Like, what about that character made it need to be Red Skull?
Because now
it could have been any sort of CGI monster mess, and they made it Red Skull.
They just needed the fan service, and to me, that also means that now it's the pink girl from Guardians of the Galaxy.
The pink girl from Guardians of the Galaxy.
When they went to the Collector, who grabbed the Infinity Stone and then exploded. That to me means that she's also there somewhere.
She's like somewhere.
Yeah. She's just hiding behind a rock or something.
She got darted to another planet. She's hiding another magic rock.
But it just... That's the first thing that makes me angry. Second thing doesn't really make me angry so much as it's just stupid. The actual execution of that scene
is
one of the worst, like wannabe dramatic scenes I've ever seen with this
right?
Because it doesn't have any actual, I guess, support to it. Like, I don't know how to put it, but they were expecting you to care about Gamora.
And a lot of people do.
Yeah, but I just couldn't.
Yeah.
I've seen her build up over,
I haven't seen her build up at all.
Guardians 2.
You've seen her
this one.
I think
you've seen her in
Gamora...
3 movies now, and I just I still don't know anything about her character other than she's a badass.
The only thing, because I don't think you get any characterization for Gamora unless I'm forgetting anything until Infinity War.
She's a badass who doesn't like her dad and is a love interest for Peter Quill.
Yeah, that's what you get in Guardians 1 and 2, and then in the third one you get her people dying.
She really hates her dad.
Her people dying. She really hates her dad. Yeah. I don't know. I just think that scene is it's so ridiculous.
I was literally laughing out loud watching that scene. I had to keep quiet because I knew I was being obnoxious, but it was just so bad. I remember that it was it showed her falling, and I was already laughing, and then it showed Thanos. I think it was a close up or something, and I started laughing more. And then it showed her on the ground falling that high, and she was still just picturesque, and there wasn't blood or anything, which that wouldn't happen. And then there was one extreme low angle of Thanos just kind of standing there like a meat boy. It's just the most bizarre, weirdly done thing, and it was so melodramatic and so soap opera-y.
You know what's more soap opera than that?
The rest of the movie.
The scene specifically when Mantis knocks out Thanos and they're tearing it off, and then Star-Lord finds out that she's dead and ruins it for everybody, and then inadvertently kills half the universe.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that was awesome.
That's so soap opera.
That was so cool. No, it so is.
And I'm that's one of the performances and characters that I enjoy more in those movies. Mm-hmm. Especially Guardians. I think the first Guardians is probably up there for best Marvel movie, and then Guardians 2 is pretty boring, but he's good. And
I did not like Guardians 2.
I don't like that movie, but I like him in that movie.
Yeah.
And then again in this one, I'm up until that point, I was yeah, he's really cool. I understand how he's a hero, even though he seems like a goofy guy. Mm-hmm. And then he does that, and I'm come on. Come on, man.
Also, I want to make a point. Mm-hmm. I'm not sure if we've said it on the podcast, but you have said that there isn't toxic masculinity in Marvel movies.
I think that it's something that is not a problem.
They made it a problem.
How so?
When the Guardians find Thor, and there's the whole joke of Peter Quill being really jealous because everyone thinks that Thor is more manly than he is. That is absolutely toxic masculinity.
I mean, it is, but it's also to me at least, that's something that exists in the real world and is relatable.
Yeah, and it is toxic masculinity.
Yeah, but I don't see why that's a bad thing. No, I understand why it's a bad thing. Okay, I understand why it in itself is a bad thing. Yeah. Right? But I don't understand why it being in the movie is a bad thing. Because I 100% believe that is something that character... I don't watch that and be oh, it's being so toxic masculinity, right? I watch that and I'm that's how Peter Quill would react to that. I buy that as part of his character. That's what he would do. I mean, whether or not that's toxic, yeah, but that's how people are.
I mean, yeah, but name one other thing from that movie that you can say that's how people are.
What? Name a character that's
Name I don't know.
What? Character traits of people?
No, any of the super melodramatic moments.
Anything with Stark and Iron Man, or with Stark and Spider-Man.
Is that just how people are?
Yes.
But what else?
What do you mean? I don't know what point you're trying to make.
Go on. Let's move on.
To me, it's yeah, it's toxic, but also that's not fake.
Yeah.
So it's not a problem.
I don't know.
I think it's something that people I think that's something that people relate to.
Yeah.
That feeling of jealousy, you know?
I'm confused. Well,
I'm saying that it's not a flaw with the movie that it exists in it.
Yeah, but it is.
Why?
Because I don't know. Because
it's toxic masculinity.
Yeah.
So
the word toxic is in it.
Yeah, but that's how people are. People in the real world. Right, people in the real world.
Wait, what's the
exhibit toxic masculinity?
What's the movie that's coming? The House That Jack Built. There are serial killers in the world.
Yeah,
that's just how people are.
Yeah, that's why it's not a bad thing that there's a serial killer in the movie.
I'm so confused right now.
You just proved my point.
What?
You were like, serial killer, there are serial killers in the real world. So, like, in your own scenario, the fact that a serial killer is on screen is bad because it's a serial killer.
What the hell am I talking about?
I don't know what you're talking about. I think you're ridiculous.
Do you want to move on?
Sure.
Okay.
I want to talk about Thanos more.
Yeah.
Okay.
No.
So,
I mean, like, yeah.
I was talking to somebody this week about Thanos, and we were having like a good discussion about it.
Yeah.
And an analogy came up, a comparison came up that I think was like really good at describing why we don't like Thanos as opposed to why a lot of other people like Thanos. So I was comparing Thanos to who I think is the best Marvel villain by a long shot, a legitimately great villain in Killmonger and Black Panther.
Yeah.
And the person who I was arguing with was like, so what's like so different about them if you love Killmonger and you don't like Thanos? Because like they both have like ambiguous, like they both think that what they're doing is right, right? They both have ridiculous plans that are out of proportion, right?
Yeah.
And they both like are just morally ambiguous, right? Like they both have huge plans that don't work because they're morally wrong,
and they think they're doing for
Right.
like the greater good.
Exactly. So what makes one of them great and one of them just fine? To me, what makes them great is that we understand Killmonger's struggle.
Yeah.
Right? Killmonger, his father was murdered by these people. He grew up in Oakland, a place where racial prejudice is very easily seen.
Yeah.
He grew up in the United States, a place where that's easily seen. He knows the history. He knows the history of the world's racial inequality and racial justice. But he grows up with that, knowing that Wakanda exists, knowing that there's this place that could have stopped all of that if they weren't just greedy, right? So that's his driving force. We understand why he wants to do this. Now, his plan is to basically take over Wakanda and give every black person a vibranium weapon and kill white people. That's his plan, right? That's ridiculous, right? He has to have that plan to be a villain, right? We still want him to lose, even if he's right. Okay. Thanos, on the other hand, we don't understand his motivations as clearly, right? We get one scene where they're on Titan, and I think it's Iron Man who's talking, or Doctor Strange who's talking to him, and he's like, why are you doing this? All right, whatever. Like, what happened to this place? And he's like, I grew up here, and he used the reality stone to show what it looked like beforehand. And he's like, I had this crazy idea. It was overpopulation was killing us.
We have been interrupted. Again, Brian was a fool. Again, please try to forgive him. We at M3 Movies understand the type of inconvenience this may place on you. Please do not take it out on Jack.
Do you remember what I was saying? I was talking about... Okay, so Thanos. He has a scene with Doctor Strange. Right? And he's talking about the reality... And he uses the reality stone. He's like, my planet was prospering. It was happy. And it was... And then eventually we were struggling with overpopulation. We couldn't handle it. I had this crazy idea to kill half the people at random. I was laughed at. I was shot away. And this is the result. That's what we get. Okay?
It's not a lot.
It's not a lot.
It's...
And whenever I hear people defend it, they're implying a lot of things that we don't actually see. So to me, I don't understand as much why he is so emotionally driven to do this for the rest of the universe.
Yeah.
Right? Like, people are talking about how he's this great father figure here. He, like, wants to be, or not, he wants to be, like, the universe's father figure. Why? I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know what drives him for the rest of the universe, other than implying that maybe it's because he lost his whatever. But he's not directed in a way where he's being emotional when he's talking about that. He's talking about these idiots' mistake. Like, sorry.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't sound, like, emotionally attached to that memory. He doesn't, like, his voice doesn't change at all when he's like, I was laughed at, anything like that.
Yeah.
Like, he doesn't sound attached.
Yeah.
And again, the argument I've heard from that is that he's not. He's detached from that. And I'm like, okay, then why does he care?
Why is he doing it? Yeah, exactly.
Like, I don't understand what's driving him. I don't understand what makes him want to be this father figure for the universe. Okay, I understand where the appeal comes in, where he, like a lot of the appeal I've heard is, like, he doesn't care who.
Yeah.
He doesn't care all this. Like, it's it's not like a Hitler or something like that who's trying to purge the world of a certain race or a certain gender or a certain anything.
Yeah.
It's just, this is what we need to do. Snap fingers.
With
right?
a metal glove.
But I personally, when watching the movie, never get a sense of why this is something that's so important to him specifically.
Exactly.
And why, like, what drives him, you know? And I do get that with Killmonger, which is why I think Killmonger works so well and why I think Thanos doesn't. So I think that's a good just...
No, that's absolutely what it is. He has quote unquote motivation, but I mean, I don't know. It's like motivated, but it doesn't feel motivated.
Yeah.
I don't know a better way to put that.
I understand.
Yeah.
Because the main thing that I'm getting is that most people understand where he's coming from. Like, most people feel like they can, like, get that from that one scene. I don't.
I have a question about that, too.
Yeah.
So, his entire race died, right? Like, on Titan. Titan just kind of, like... How's he the one that survived?
He left.
He left?
I assume.
That's...
He was
stupid.
he was like, you guys aren't going to kill half the population? There's no other solutions. I'm out.
Well, that's the other thing. He has, like, he can do whatever he wants. Why doesn't he just make more resources? And that's, like, that kind of gets into what you were saying. If I were to make the argument that he has all of the Infinity Stones so he can make more resources for everyone, people would say, like, other people's arguments would be based entirely off of assumptions of the character without
a lot
really
of which
much
come from the
there.
comics.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that doesn't mean anything. No, I think actually you kind of touched on another point in Infinity War and Marvel movies in general that I think I don't like about them is that a lot of the people's powers seem like just really ambiguous.
They're very ambiguous.
I don't know
Like
what
this
the
new
Infinity
Iron Man
Stones
suit.
can do.
Like, I hate the new Iron Man suit because it's just like, you know, he can do whatever.
Like, I don't
Like,
know
if
what
something
Iron
is
Man suit can do.
blown
I don't know what Scarlet Witch's powers really are. Is it just
Exactly.
Jean Grey?
I don't know.
I don't know.
What does Vision do? He apparently can phase through things, but he still gets stabbed twice.
I didn't think about that. Wait, what?
It just, there's no, like, they don't.
I never thought about that.
The,
Like, what do the Infinity Stones do?
I mean, even Captain America, who, like, if you watch the first Captain America movie as opposed to, like, Winter Soldier, his powers are entirely
They just
different.
change.
Yeah.
There's, like, 4 characters in this movie, like, the children of Thanos or whatever, and, like, my big problem, I like the New York fight scene in the beginning. I do. But, like, my thing with it is, like, I don't know what this guy can do.
Yeah.
What
like
are they up
Ebony
against?
Maw.
I don't... And then he just, like, does other stuff, and I'm like, you
guy-
had that power?
Right? Like, I have a lot to break down about that first scene. Not really a lot, but 2 things. First
The
of
New York
all,
scene or the first scene?
the New York scene.
The New
Like,
York
when they're when Tony, Doctor Strange, and what's his face, Bruce
Peter
Banner,
And Peter Parker
sure.
shows up.
Yeah, they're all like facing against him, and
And
Hulk
Wong.
has to come out. When the big dude keeps like walking towards them, and Hulk is trying, like, he's just walking, but. I'm sorry, let me try this again.
But you can't, why are you just walking?
Yeah, right? Like, while Bruce Banner is standing there, clearly trying to, like, unlock his powers, this guy is just walking. And then when the audience realizes that something's up, he starts running. If you could have started running, why didn't you? And why didn't you start with the Ebony Maw, who, when he has a car thrown at him, splits it in half without moving at all?
Have you ever thought about this? Okay, wait. So, Guardians of the Galaxy. All right, great movie. I think it's an objectively great movie.
Yeah.
Villain is garbage. It's Ronan.
Absolutely horrible.
Ronan. But he's not important.
Yeah.
He has what's called the Power Stone, the purple one, right?
Yeah.
Now, his whole goal, the whole third act of Guardians of the Galaxy 1, is he has the purple stone in his hammer.
Yes.
And he wants to touch it to the surface of the Nova Corps planet, whatever it's called.
Kill it.
And it destroys the entire planet. Okay? Literally touching the rock to the planet destroys it.
Why does he have to have it in the thing?
I don't know. But, think about this. Thanos has that before the movie even starts.
Oh my god, yeah, he does. Why does he need to do anything at all?
Why does he need to do anything? He gets the
he presses
Tesseract
that-
in the first scene.
He puts it to Thor's head, and Thor's just fine.
Well, he's a god. He's literally a god.
Are you telling me that a god has the same caliber as a planet?
Yes, I am.
There's got to be some
okay.
point.
Well, that's another problem with it. How powerful are the gods?
No one knows.
Are they
there
gods?
Was something where it was like they were alien, like they were gods, and then they were like aliens, and then they were gods again, and then
Loki
aliens,
gets choked to death. Do
Well,
they
no,
need
his
air?
His neck is snapped.
Is it?
Yeah,
I don't remember
because
I forgot.
Thanos is strong and something.
Something. He has the Power Stone.
And speaking of, I'm really
Thor
bad at
holds open a
forming
sun
things today. He does. Oh my god, he does.
The power of a sun goes through him.
Well, it's a star.
The sun is a star.
Shut your mouth, Brian.
You know that stars are suns.
Shut up.
Okay.
Brian.
Okay. Never mind.
What was I saying? The Thanos in the Vision scene. He's stabbed a neck. I'm not gonna try with this point anymore.
No, but yeah. So,
what else?
Right,
What
I'm
else
done.
is there?
I think I've said all I have to say. It's probably not true, but I think I've had enough.
Yeah, let's see. I was bored.
And we have other stuff
Yeah.
for 20 minutes.
Do you want to move on? We did it, Brian. 3 episodes.
Oh yeah. All right.
Talked about Infinity War. We're
All right.
We're big league.
Hell yeah. Okay. We have a really short movie news section today.
Yes.
Movie news. Jingle.
It is time for movie news.
Sick jingle, dude.
Wow.
Sick nasty.
All right.
Benedict Cumberbatch.
Benedict
on the topic
Cumberbatch.
of Infinity War said that he will only take new projects if his female co-stars receive equal pay.
Yeah, so this is a pretty small story, it's
Yeah.
one person, right? But it's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's cool of him. I mean, obviously. It's
I don't know how you could argue that.
how
I mean, honestly, how can you be like,
yeah. My
that
thing-
jerkwad won't even be paid more
Is
than
like-
other people.
I feel like whenever I see a story about a female actress getting paid less than a male actress, it's almost always, with exception being the Michelle Williams, Mark Wahlberg one, it's almost always the guy's just a bigger star. The big one for me was The Crown.
I feel like I've heard of that.
The Crown's that Netflix show about Queen Elizabeth.
I
Claire
know
Foy.
about the Crown.
Claire Foy was paid less than the 11th Doctor. I don't know his name.
Matt Smith.
Mike, yeah, him.
Matt
Smith. Mike Smith. No, Matt Smith. And he's a way lesser role. And I was like, okay. But Claire Foy was discovered by The Crown. Matt Smith was Doctor Who.
Okay. Yeah, no.
Right? I feel like it's not as big of a problem as people think it is. I'm definitely not discounting Benedict Cumberbatch for this. It's
Yeah.
definitely a cool thing
Well,
that
I mean,
to do.
the-
And it is something that's necessary, but
guess-
I'm wondering how big of an issue it is.
I guess I have a hard time touching up on that because I have no clue and will have no clue because I'm not a woman.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, I don't know the statistics. I don't know how much of what is true. I am familiar with the fact that it is an issue.
Yeah.
So, what Benedict Cumberbatch is doing is a big deal. But,
I hope he actually gets, roles.
Yeah. Well, it's Benedict Cumberbatch.
What was his last, big role?
Doctor Strange. A couple of weeks ago.
No, but, you know what I mean. What was his last, good role? Sorry. Let me fix that.
He's been in
The
stuff.
Imitation Game?
That was not his last one.
4 years ago? And then he did Doctor Strange in 2016.
He's been in other stuff, though.
Has he?
Yes.
He's going to be in the Jungle Book.
Sherlock.
I mean, yeah, he's always in Sherlock.
Sherlock's still going.
But who's his female co-star in that? Freaking Martin Freeman?
Martin Freeman. He's going to be in The Grinch as...
Oh my god, he is.
Grinch.
Benedict, what are you doing?
Thomas Edison, The Current War. I have no clue what that is.
That
Zoolander
movie-
2.
The
you
Current
idiot.
War is never coming out.
As all.
That's that Weinstein movie. That's never coming out.
He was Hamlet in Hamlet.
That was a stage play.
Smaug.
He's in like 2 scenes. All right, whatever.
Yeah, okay.
But
I didn't
still,
know.
good on him. That's cool.
Yeah.
That's a cool thing to do.
Tight.
Ava DuVernay and Kristen Stewart.
You want to lead that one? Because I'm not too familiar with them.
Okay, so Kristen Stewart and I think Ava DuVernay, I'm pretty sure that Ava DuVernay are both on the jury at Cannes, judging, what the best movies are. It's led by Cate Blanchett this year. Mm-hmm. And they did it was some kind of demonstration. I think it was just like an organized march thing. Mm-hmm. For to protest the fact, or not necessarily protest, but to just make aware of the fact that Cannes and other film festivals and other awards ceremonies and other stuff like that largely discount or don't include many female directors in their
How much of that is an actual issue that Cannes is
that's my thing with it,
sexist, or how much of it is an issue of there just aren't many female directors applying putting their films.
I don't think it. I do think that male directors, I do think that. Yeah, I understand.
Okay.
I do think that there is a problem in Hollywood and
absolutely
other places where male directors are easier to get opportunities.
Yeah.
Right. There are definitely way more famous male directors than there are way more famous female directors. Mm-hmm. A lot of that is transitionary, right? Yeah. People like Martin Scorsese started in the career before women directors even existed. Yeah. Right? So we're still transitioning.
Yeah.
Right? It's going to be slow.
Yeah.
But also it is something that you think about and you're just it shouldn't be like that. Right?
Yeah.
It should be 50-50, right?
Well, but then there are also the things of there shouldn't be Nazis in the streets. But
that's correct. Yeah, but it's one of those things that you're it's just is something that seems so obvious, but is it?
Yeah.
So it's not Spike Lee's fault that he's not female, right?
Exactly.
But
exactly, we would want more diversity. Let's say racially, but I mean neither of us are black. So
two white male teenagers. Woohoo.
I mean, we're the most diverse you can get.
Yeah.
But yeah, yeah.
It is interesting to me. But especially since they're now, as of literally today, both directors. Kristen Stewart announced her first directing project today.
Oh,
that's another news story that I didn't put on here, but Kristen Stewart's directing some movie based on a memoir of some person that she liked. I don't know.
Twilight 4?
There are 4 Twilights. What's wrong with you?
What? No. Why do I live in this world?
Twilight, New Moon, Eclipse, Breaking Dawn. And then of movies, there's 2 Breaking Dawn movies. So there's 5 movies.
I should have known that because on the bookshelf over there's actually the entire
I am in my sister's room. Okay, excuse you.
The secret's out. We don't record in a sound booth.
My sister's basement.
Yeah.
So yeah, I hope that's something that changes for sure. As far as things like the Academy go,
you also have to think about, this is another problem that I have with Marvel, is they keep hiring big name directors, but all the big name directors are white men. So
Ryan Coogler, my man.
Yeah, that's one movie.
Yeah, that is one movie. They tried to get that lady that did The Rider, but she said no.
I can't blame her.
I don't know what about The Rider equals Marvel. I think Aiden talked about this last week, but
it's a director that people know.
Yeah,
that's it. That is all it takes.
Yeah.
Huh. Do you want to? Okay, let's talk
most
about
major franchises though. Star Wars is the same way, is it not?
I mean, I guess. J.J. Abrams.
J.J. and Ryan and Garth Davis and who did Solo? Ron Howard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, they're at least making an effort to make the on-screen cast more diverse.
Yeah, I guess. Finn and Rose and
Ray.
Ray is a female. Yes, that's correct.
Yeah. They've even expanded Leia's character, and so
yeah.
I mean, yeah. Whereas Marvel is, there's
some badass female characters in Marvel,
and they're all romantic interests.
The one in Black Panther's not.
Which one?
Like the 3. Okay, Lupita Nyong'o is, but the other 2 aren't.
Yeah, they are. The bald one? The security person?
Yeah! Okay.
Every single woman, except for Maria Hill.
Well, to be fair, doesn't that mean that the men are all romantic interests too?
Nope.
Who's not?
Hawkeye
has a wife.
No, not Hawkeye. The guy with the wings.
Falcon?
Falcon, yeah.
Oh, that's right.
Falcon.
Oof.
Bucky. The Winter Soldier.
Okay, Bucky is gay for Captain America. We both know it.
Captain America had a girlfriend. And
yeah,
then
but she died in the 20s.
And so he went after her, niece?
Grandmother.
Oh, right. Sorry. That's much
I
better.
think it was grandmother, yeah. He was like, you're close enough.
Yeah. God, that's awful. Why would they ever do that?
It's in the comics. Do you want to keep talking about Can?
Yeah. So,
right.
People walked out of the house that Jack built.
All right, it's going to transition kind of into our trailer section in a second.
Yeah.
But, so Can is known for being so dramatic. They're so funny. They give 10-minute standing ovations and they walk out of anything that they find indecent. But, like, the house that Jack built is Lars von Trier's new movie. He's not known for being very, he's not known for censoring himself.
Oh, right.
He's of the firm belief that if you can think it, you should be allowed to show it on screen. Which is something I respect very dearly. And also, I'm like...
that I'd follow, but...
It's something I'd follow.
Really?
It's something I do, personally.
Oh, right.
But it's something I believe you should be allowed to do.
No, absolutely.
Yeah.
That's what I mean. I don't think I would...
All it makes me think about is, like, what are you thinking about, dude? He's like, I think whatever you can show. He's like, whatever you can think of, you can show. And I'm like, what are you thinking about?
Stop thinking.
You are terrifying.
Yeah.
It's like when Nicholas Winding Refn, like, do you know who Nicholas Winding Refn is?
Nope.
He made like Drive and Bronson and The Neon Demon and Only God Forgives, a bunch of like really, really like dark, violent movies that are like really sexual a lot of the time. And he talks about, he's like, I make what turns me on. Like he said that in interviews.
Ew,
and I'm
what
like,
a gross way to
you
say
are
that.
disgusting.
Wow. Ew.
The Neon Demon has like a like giant like lesbian necrophilia orgy in it.
God.
And I'm like, you're disgusting. But yeah, so that can transition to trailers.
Whoa! Yeah, I just watched
trailers.
Jingle.
New trailers.
What a nice jingle.
So proud of that.
All right, so you want to start with the house Jack built?
Sure.
That trailer looks so good.
It is crazy.
I like haven't heard of the guy before. I feel like I'm sleeping on this guy, Matt Dillon.
Yeah,
or whatever his name is.
He's in a bunch of stuff.
Is he?
Yeah, he usually plays like
He's in Wayward Pines.
he usually plays like pretty, I want to say satirical characters.
He's in Crash.
Yeah.
Good for him.
Ash Ketchum versus the world.
Nice. But he looks amazing.
There's something that's like, I think it's I'm not too familiar with it. I think it's like a zombie apocalypse kind of thing.
Yeah.
Where he plays a character with a chainsaw for a hand.
Nice.
And that right there is probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
He looks amazing in this movie.
Oh, yeah.
Does he not? Like,
No,
I
he
think he
very
looks
much does.
great.
Yeah.
Like, just like the look he gives.
Yeah.
At
the very end.
in the car.
Oh,
and at the end.
Right, yeah.
Just like kind of this like staring, like
yeah, almost end of Psycho.
End of Psycho,
Yeah.
end of American Psycho.
Yeah.
One of those. But this movie is gonna be like crazy violent.
Yeah. Oh no, absolutely. The trailer is crazy violent.
Yeah. Okay. So like, light spoiler. Just coming out of Cannes. It's not a huge thing, but like the scene that made people walk out was he's like shooting kids with rifles in the face.
Yeah.
And I'm just like, okay. I'm like, I think this movie is gonna be good, but okay.
Wow. Yeah.
It's one of those.
You should put on screen what you're thinking.
Oh. That's not.
Yeah.
The song choice is so good.
It's so good.
It's just like upbeat,
Yeah,
and I'm like, he's killing people. Like he like lines the people's heads up, and
Is
he's
there
like,
do you know if there's a plot to the movie other than it's a serial killer?
I don't think so.
Cool.
I could be wrong. I don't know,
Cool.
but I am very excited. I think it looks great.
I want to talk about the BlacKkKlansman.
BlacKkKlansman also looks
Looks
phenomenal.
awesome.
Aiden, who was on the show last week, described it to me. He was like, "If nice guys had something to say," and I was like, "That's amazing."
I've been trying to find nice guys. I want to watch that.
We talked about that last week, and you can still borrow it.
Okay, Brian. So yeah, BlacKkKlansman. It looks so great, dude.
It does. It really does. I will see literally anything with Adam Driver in it.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, he's my favorite
Such a
actor in
great
Hollywood.
actor.
He
I hate that he's been acting less than I have. Like for less than amount of time.
has he really?
He really has.
How long has he been acting?
Like not long at all. I think
No, 'cause he was in the Marines.
Yeah, I think The Force Awakens was one of his first movies.
It
Definitely
wasn't-
not his first. But
Well, no, he
one
got
of
his,
his
he got
first.
his like start in Girls.
Ew.
You're such a child. So like 2012 ish.
Dang. Yeah, I hate that. You want to know when I started? 2009. I was in second grade. So I guess not much. I don't know.
Still though,
Whatever.
yeah, I feel you.
Whatever. He's just
He
awesome.
was in J. Edgar in 2011.
I haven't seen it.
I haven't.
I need to
heard
start
it's not good.
watching more movies.
Yeah, same. But yeah, he was in the Marines.
Yeah,
And,
I knew that much because
he,
there's
like-
the picture of him with the hat on,
And he
his
got
goofy-looking
injured.
ears.
And couldn't go,
Oh, I didn't know that.
so he took up acting. He actually has
As
a
you do.
he like runs this nonprofit where it's like getting former Marines and current Marines like into the arts.
That's a like common thing. I didn't know that.
It's not, but it's like it's like
It's-
a way. Yeah, like it's not a common thing, but it's like
common enough to warrant a
yeah,
fundraising thing.
it's a nonprofit, and I'm like, good for you, dude. Get on you, jeez, what a guy. No, but he's
Yeah,
great,
yeah.
and I don't know. I'll look up who the guy's name is because he deserves some credit for that trailer alone. But the main character,
White man.
Jeez, he's not even like the top 3 listed actors. Probably because he's black, but that's what I'm saying.
Yeah, how is he not? He's clearly the main character.
It's probably just because he's not as famous. John David Washington.
John David Washington.
John David Washington. He looks great.
Yeah.
He looks really good in that movie. As does Topher Grace as David Duke. That's hilarious. That's so funny. But yeah, I think that movie's gonna be like really great.
Mm-hmm.
I've heard that it's like surprisingly like conventional, or like not conventional, but like The Nice Guys. You know, like The Nice Guys, like the style of movie.
Oh, okay.
Like
yeah,
it's
yeah.
like a fairly like accessible. Like it's not artsy. You know,
Okay,
it's
yeah.
not like indie or anything.
Yeah.
Like it's filmed like that,
I can
which
see that.
surprises
From the
me,
trailers,
and I can see it.
that. Yeah.
But I think it'll work like,
Yeah.
really well for that
Absolutely.
movie.
Is
Like-
the I know they made a like there was a BlacKkKlansman movie, what, 1960s?
Is there another one? I didn't know that existed.
I was gonna ask you if this was just like a remake or a sequel or what.
The BlacKkKlansman. I think
Yeah.
it's probably the same thing, like the play,
Mm-hmm.
on like The Birth of a Nation or something.
Yeah.
Kind of thing. I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm assuming they just got the title inspired.
don't know.
It seems like a different it's a different like
It's
story.
a true story.
It's a different story.
It's a true story.
As is
So
BlacKkKlansman.
yeah, that's what I'm talking about.
But it's not the
BlacKkKlansman.
same story.
It's not the same story?
I don't think so.
Shut your mouth.
Because David Duke was not the Grand Wizard of the KKK in 1966. Have you seen that guy? Was he?
I mean, probably.
How old is David Duke?
Pretty crazy old.
Is
He's
he
an old
really?
white guy, yeah.
He doesn't seem that old.
Maybe I'm wrong.
I could be wrong too. I have no idea. He's 67 years old.
Oh.
Which means in 66 he
Never
was
mind.
16, which means he was not the Grand Wizard of the...
Damn it. I thought he was really crazy
KKK.
old.
He's 67. Former Louisiana state representative. Oh, God. Okay. I didn't know that. But,
Set during the civil rights movements, this is the Nope.
after a black
Oh,
man's
yeah, no,
daughter
this
was
is-
killed by the KKK, he seeks revenge by becoming a Klansman.
Yeah, so it's the same... It's the same story, different
It's not. I don't think it's the same story at all.
Huh.
It's very much not the same story.
Fine.
I think it was just inspired by the title. I like the way that the title looks, by the way. Like the black, and then instead of a space, K, Klansman. I like that.
Clever. Funny stuff.
Very clever.
Yeah.
Good play on the...
Now, there are two that I really want to talk about. Let's start with Bohemian Rhapsody. That looks awesome.
It does look awesome.
I'm not sure if there's much in the way of plot or if it's just,
I'm sure there will be.
Yeah.
I think the trailer looks awesome, mostly because it's Queen. But,
Rami Malek.
Rami Malek looks just like him.
It's like, well, I mean, I think they use prosthetic teeth.
I'm sure they do.
Yeah.
But I feel like
it is insane.
I could see this being
Yeah.
his nomination.
Yeah.
For the first time. If it's like good enough, obviously. But just like that's the kind of thing that they love, that transformative garbage. But yeah, he looks
awesome.
He looks amazing.
I like the bit that they showed in the trailer of them like writing Bohemian Rhapsody.
Yeah,
that looks like it'll be a fun time. Yeah,
I liked when they were like playing the song and then it stopped right where the opera part comes in. He's like, "This is where the opera part comes." He's like, "Oh, this is where it comes." And then Mamma Mia. Like, I love that. I don't know. Like I said, I think the trailer might be good just because of the Queen.
Yeah, but no, that's absolutely why it's good.
Hopefully, that's why the movie's good. He was one the Queen.
Good. It looks good.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Okay, the second one I really want to talk about, and I am so crazy excited about this, Brian. There are no words to explain how crazy excited I am.
It's Hotel Transylvania.
Hotel Transylvania 3.
It reminded me...
Count it with me, Brian. Not 1, not 2, but 3.
The most successful Adam Sandler franchise.
Yeah. The third in the Hotel Transylvania saga.
It looks like if Alvin and the Chipmunks Chipwrecked was stupider. Somehow.
The animation is so stupid. It looks really alright, but it's like every minor movement results in the jiggling of something.
It'll be a more or less harmless kids movie. It'll get an Oscar nomination.
I have a question for you.
Yeah.
Do you remember the day The Force Awakens came out? Also brought with it the release of
the Squeakquel.
The Squeakquel.
The Squeakquel.
Alvin and whoever thought that was a good idea? That's like one of my favorite things of all time, because I just imagine a board meeting where someone says, "Hey guys, I got a great idea. Let's compete with Star Wars: The Force Awakens."
Yeah, the first Star Wars movie in 20 years.
20 years. Who approved that?
Cool.
It's like, yeah, kids will probably want to see Alvin and the Chipmunks instead of Star Wars.
Imagine being a parent and your kids crying about wanting to go to the Squeakquel instead of Star Wars.
Disappointing.
I'd drag them into Star Wars.
Yeah.
I wouldn't even care. I'd be like, no. I would yell at my crying child and say, no,
funny
you
stuff.
idiot.
I love it.
All right, The Predator.
The Predator.
The Predator got a trailer. The trailer looks boring and dumb. The name attached to it looks amazing. It's Shane Black.
Yeah. Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm okay with it. It's Shane Black. It can do no wrong. It's Shane Black.
I haven't really seen. I have to be honest with you, Brian. I know you love Shane Black,
I'm
but
a fan.
I have not seen a Shane Black movie so far that I have enjoyed.
That's because the only one you've seen is Iron Man 3.
Iron Man 3. Yeah.
Iron Man 3 is a movie I legitimately enjoy.
Yeah.
That's like my third or fourth favorite Marvel movie.
Yeah.
There are like 4 Marvel movies I like.
I didn't like.
And Iron Man 3 is one of them. I like Iron Man 3. Iron Man 3 is a bad Iron Man movie. Objectively.
Yeah.
It is, however, a great action movie.
Yeah.
Which is why I enjoy it, and that's hopefully what The Predator will be.
That may have been why I didn't like it, because I watched that back in my, like, I really like Marvel. That was back when I did that. So
I feel you.
I feel like if I were to watch it again, maybe I'd enjoy it, but also it has
probably
Marvel
not
attached to it. Yeah.
But I think you can appreciate it for how like thought out and well done its action is, as opposed to every other Marvel movie. Cough, Black Panther, cough. God.
All right, let's move on. We don't really have
searching.
Oh, I was just gonna move on to the. No, yeah, we can talk about.
We can talk about searching. I want to talk about searching because of how dumb the trailer is.
Yeah,
it's a great trailer.
I like John Cho.
Like or not a great trailer. It looks like a great movie.
I want to say.
I think it looks great.
Does it though?
I think it does.
I think John Cho looks great, but that's
what the movie is. It's John Cho.
Oh yeah, but
It's John Cho acting on a computer screen for 3 hours.
I just
Come on.
guess-
It's 3 hours, an hour and a half.
I guess I don't think that there is much that can be done with that format.
I feel like it hasn't really been tested yet.
Yes, it has.
It hasn't been thoroughly tested yet. The one example we have so far is Unfriended.
Unfriended, yeah.
And Friend Request, which is the same thing, except bad. Unfriended is good. I will fight anyone.
Too? We talked about that last week.
Yeah, we talked about that last week.
Yeah.
But Unfriended, the thing is, it's only Skype. The entire time. It's only Skype.
Boring.
Oh wait, no, it's not. They go to a YouTube video once.
Oh.
But it's, for the most part, it's Skype, right? This is, I think, more diverse in that, I guess.
Okay.
I don't know, that's not the right word.
I don't
But
know.
whatever, you know what I mean. I'm interested. And it's got great reviews, and John Cho is going to be phenomenal.
Yeah.
I'm ready.
I guess it just doesn't really look like my kind of movie.
I understand that.
Yeah.
I understand that.
Yeah,
My problem with the trailer is that it just gives away everything.
Yeah.
Like, if you haven't watched it, don't watch it. Because it literally gives away the entire movie.
Yeah.
Like, the last shot of the trailer, like, John Cho says a line that I guarantee you is, like, one of the last lines in the movie. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, what the heck? Why did you give me this?
I don't know. I guess there's not much action on a computer screen.
No, but that's not what the movie is. I think it's more about the character, which is...
It's about the character!
It's Dear Evan Hansen, dude. Alright,
let's move on.
Movies
watched.
It's getting more aggressive. This is a good jingle.
That was a good jingle.
It was a good jingle. Alright, what movies have you watched? I need to think of what movies I've watched. Have I watched any movies?
Oh,
That's a good question.
I don't think we should have done this, because the movie that I watched was Infinity War.
Yeah.
And that was
That's okay.
the most recent. Well, okay, you know what?
Have you watched any other movies?
Let's talk about this, because we've both started watching this one.
Run Lola Run?
Run Lola Run.
I love it.
I wasn't expecting to love it.
I
and
love
then it started, like, it... I love weird shit.
Me!
And, like, the ending was
love
great. It was like a Baz Luhrmann movie, but interesting and consistent. Have you ever noticed that about a Baz Luhrmann movie?
No, yeah, they make no sense.
Yeah, it'll be like the crazy editing in the beginning, and then like it just won't keep.
Yeah, but it
It's
is.
like
I'm like
tired.
I'm just like.
I'm interested.
Who has the balls for that?
Yeah, I
And
really.
we're only 20 minutes in to clarify.
Yeah, I really
But-
like the so far the what's
Just
being
the
done
style.
what's being done with the camera.
I've just never seen a movie like it.
Yeah,
I've never seen a movie like it.
Mm-hmm.
It's just so unique
it's so unique.
that I'm very much enjoying it.
Crazy.
I love like the little cuts to like the animated part. I
Uh-huh.
love that.
Just the opening sequence.
Is
I had
so good.
I had a tough time with like the weird like crowd of people, like camera craziness. But like once it
Oh, that
got
was
into
cool.
like the really stylistic, like once he kicked the soccer ball into the air, and then like everyone was like in the shape of like Lola whatever, and then it got into the animated
Lola
sequence.
Yeah.
That was the moment I was like, I kind of like this.
Yeah, that was cool. I like it. I like it a lot.
Yeah, I'm enjoying it.
I love the scene that we've seen so far when he's just like walking her down the hallway and is like, I'm leaving you.
Yeah.
And her dad. I'm leaving you and your mother and I'm going to have kids with another person.
So great.
Yeah.
I love what's being done with the camera. Like I know I
Yeah.
mentioned that, but
like really
I wanted to,
jerky
touch
and
on it.
really...
No,
But,
I mean,
it's like
even
really
just,
jerky, but everything feels intentional.
Yeah, and even in like the more emotional scene where she's talking to her dad and he's like, yeah, I'm not your real dad. Spoilers. Like there's just the way that the camera moved or like was placed. I just thought it was like really interesting and creative, and like the camera felt like
It felt like a character. It feels like a
it
character.
felt like a being in
Yeah.
the...
It feels like you. It feels
Yes.
like you're a character in the
Uh-huh.
movie and you're just there.
It's surprisingly well done.
Yeah, I think it's really well done.
Super cheesy. Super fun.
I really like it. Yeah. I'm really impressed so far. I can't wait to watch the rest.
All right.
I think that's a good place to stop.
That about does it.
It does about do it.
So,
Do we have an outro yet? We have
we
an outro
had
song.
outro. Yeah.
But like, do we have like a thing that we say?
No. Hit that like button in the face. Punch it. Punch your computer.
Don't punch your
You
computer.
see that little red icon that says subscribe?
Oh yeah, you should do that.
Hit it, you idiot. Do it.
I will, like, What will I do? I'll turn it to Jack from the house Jack built.
Please don't.
Your children will be mine.
Oh my God, Brian.
Yeah.
We did it. Let's high five on it. Double high five.
Oh my God. All
That was
right.
us clapping.
No, it wasn't.
All right.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
See ya.
Love you.